Father Dennis. Father Dennis was a Roman Catholic clergyman, and he used to come to preach in a square in Paris, dressed in his cassock. And one man walked up to him and said, "Don't come here to preach again. We don't want to see you around here. Don't come and talk about Bible here." And Father Dennis will not hear. The last time Father Dennis preached in the square in Paris, the man arrived with a knife and was sitting to one side of the square and sharpening his knife while Father Dennis was preaching. The noise of the sharpener will attract Father Dennis some of the time, so he takes a glance at him. And the man also take a glance at him. You will soon hear from me. And then he will be sharpening. And when he was done with the sharpening, he sharpened it so sharply, but he didn't want to throw the knife twice. So he went to Father Dennis and told him, "We've told you not to come here to preach, you refuse." Wham! One swing. Father Dennis' head dropped down. And Father Dennis himself picked his head in his hands. And the head continued to preach. And the head was saying, "I have not finished talking." The man put his knife down and ran away. And Father Dennis carried his head in his hands and trekked for miles, and his head was still preaching in his hand, until blood finished in the body of Father Dennis and he collapsed and died with his head in his hand. You go to Paris today, you ask of the blood street. The blood street is that street where the blood of Father Dennis stained the whole road till he died. And where he died, the Roman Catholic people went and built a cathedral there and put a sculpture of Father Dennis in front of that cathedral with his head in his hands. So when you Pentecostals are talking about signs and wonders, the Roman Catholic people are laughing.
CV, simply the best. Ifo Ghana TV, simply the best. Abusia mambusa asa hone mo etese nyame na tomo bo ade ade nkwane ahoden ede a che tekrama ede abodwume nanso moja edi mu afrosane a na mebusa wo se hone mo etese meme hoye obo ade adaroma nkwa ene ahoden ewo memu odofo yeni nkomo titifo no insi ye bi omodo sum nyamen me pese ne ye di ho nkomo kakra ini ho nkomo kakra enra me ye video bi na ye na apostle Church of Pentecost apostle bi kasa edefantare shebi ho na o kase kebe ya before obidi atare bi beba nyame mu no ana sorfie no ye ne build a relationship ye kwan be fa so ye be ka no ni ade abuzia osuma yesumi masum nyame kakra me sum nyame nchei ba kakra masom edi besi sampempeso me hu ni se nyame som eye adwena wankasa ubeyi eye decision taking sa me masum nyame se nipa nye ready na wotwene kwesi aso da my total waste of time. Phobia had they were not ready, so we have invited them to be in the church instead of them to allow themselves to be a good example for Nyami Emano. They have allowed themselves nane adie bi ebe koso Nyami mu bia no. Omai said they will talk about it. Whatever the ebeko should be the ebeko subiano omo they have problem with it. Ebuzia Christo sumu binuma bro. Did you hear a story of Pastor Father Dennis? What's a Father Dennis story no? Share yenya yeba yenka huni se Christo sum enye ni ayeye pe yenye pe so na Christo sum oba Christo sum yeba toy the Christo sum a one standard e won pempen so e wo enti se yeye be mu a yeye ne ye be ye ni yeye ne ye ba abeye Christo sum na da ho they have laid a foundation. And na kwe se gise ukrokro ni pants we wure nyame fie ukrokro ni pants wa benyame fie ukrokro no so akwaye se enne de sese nipa ne ya ye sekire ye se ka no kra kire nipa no o se ye krokro no o kan kase obejai e kan kase a ne ye gum na nse hunu ye die. Let me use my Church of Pentecost as an example. Since the day my Sunday school era, my teen age muho, and me jai MDCC Munzama Disco Christo Church. That was a one and me ma menana a somti a ho and all the meko. Me jai me Sunday school era, and be Sunday school ma besine, men some or die BM bio. Pentecost a masuma de besine. Adia ba kwa me beto wa sori mu pa ne se ye wo elders binoma they make sure say they are always protecting the church, the integrity of the church. Where are they now? Wombotaye and said they will shape people's life. Akrokro entia so aba eni nkanim na omode tretene yen yebatu bi Saudi nse huna obekan sani use so sika no obeka akyerewo no matter who you are na ebwai Emana obi obebebe wura show no mu bia no he comes out well polished. Ti se obi obetimi atena Pentecost im kroje na wotimi atena mpenifo na ase wotimi say the person nipa no he is world natured because discipline eya dia Pentecost veni agro. Baren kakra e kofem mefuaso aya yentu yabo nansu ko bibini ko daki na deyo woni ni isan na etu se bi no wan nye little bit stricter obejinsamo yenhwe ni sei mintu kwanda the makwaye ne nam Ghana here mentra Ghana bode biada me bompa say ebi aka afinko awieye wa wo hwe me wa ma me invite na kam so me bedi na awatwe bi ho and my rain me cheche mama me tell nka che abuzia it's about time we sit down as nyamema na dia boa ma church way mpenfo build a beye church no me yenya ne chiri en mpenfo nko a eye pa se yen we boast say Ghana ha yikuta more than 5 million members ye shenya media ni onyampa. But let's ask ourselves, how many of these 5 million and over members ena ene nyami pia dodo sen ni sorry yebetim dia akokire onyankopon dodo sen yemu asofo yemu officers yemu members yemu dodo sen na nyame ba yebekobie ayeyense yesum ama obi. That is how na aye binum ayeyense yesum ama binum ayeyese ase se wampa ye chewa yenye oya nye fa ye ti yenam yete aso ni mu no bibi kakra bi oseme asore ofi so oba ma nipa na aka so otia so no ne nte ne nkwaje ase ade e friend nkwaje no nte ase to otima o se okwa ma obi nti bibi kakra bi abaye no mejai mini anuma asafo mpanifo yenti yen yankasa yen ye frɛ ase o frɛ ne de ahin eda na che manyame che ebusa se, why are you a pastor? And now no pay we enumere me busa se, why are you an officer of this church? Asofo ni omo ya mako district locals be 10 15 20 30 na sofo ba ko penetwi ano. Yes, you betimi akibia for but bakofo yesi nipa bakofo ntina ya paw yen as officers si yemwa won yemododo sen ni yenim yen call na nkasa say ye be protected the image of the church, ye be ma sanity. I am not talking about suspension here, but sanity. Nipa yam from so we are here to tell the person point blank. Ye be nipa enia ban hoso. Ni wo hu say aso na oni name bia. Nemo he's here for a purpose. Suma ye be sum ye yamme mamesum for material things. I came for heaven's sake. I came for heaven's sake. Na heaven na ye kono. Eye jumadin. So be wura so no mu fi sa gese ye krokro. Gese ye de ensa fufu achi. Ti yamfa yansa amfufu achi a wo bodwe a sister wo di agro. Ene pie ko me sofu bi kasem bi kire me ya me fa apostle God bless boating ekra ensie yi kasem bi no na ote as a friend Cornerstone Bible Church na papa no o won sorry we bia sorry South Africa ina won sorry ho ti that could am call am say papa as okay me since day am hu and what name more than 10 years me hu say that sukra what means say can na nyehwe say the way I hwe nipa good na say branches baby ewo so be you sika more than 15 years na kan na me say papa na den na won so mbie ni bebre ko bie bi ka ho o say ne mpaya obone say okre bia beba ne nase ne botai ne so odisa nipa ne be draw soro ahimem ne botai no ne botai ne say anka obetimi wasom na wasom yie so onye nipa dom pem ne wantimi amfa saa nipa na nkopie ewurade anim wedi nse hunu Na mom se nyame ma nipa 200 300 500 na otimi yen sanyan no de kopie nyame animu a ehwo ne nyame bebo na baso. Si nyame ma nipa 15000 no de mu wentimi anfa saa nipa na anko soro ahemema wodi nse hu no. Abusia eye pa say we boast with that huge number. Enye easy. More than 5 million. You were president or this figure the winning election. A letter about 5 million. Nature say Ghana alone, we can choose a president. Church of Pentecost members alone, we can choose a president for this nation. But ask yourself, ye mododo asen ne mpempra ye kese ye nim ye frɛ ye hu so soma ya sumi ye ni wiase. There is a distance, so me benyame ma se me bo abrabo pa me ntade hye me kasa mabrabo manamuntu me man me ye nhweso papa ede ma afoforo ye mu bebre ye nye hweso papa na se unyame pie neni onyemu a ye mu bebre ebedi amaye enkabe ko a kie hwehwe awurade hune awurade ma ho hune awurade fama ho na hwehwe no na som no na se ye na sa wo ye de anya so ne ye tian wa ye pon wa ye apon ye pon wa ye apon enkase di ampenfa ye de me nsumbi.
We sent one of our ministers to go to Indonesia to go and then start the Church of Pentecost. And so we called him from United States and then we gave him all the money to go to Indonesia. Normally when we send you, we don't tell you what to do, so you go. So this guy went, and then when he arrived at the airport, Indonesia is about 279 million. About 2% are Christians. The rest are Muslims. So when he got to the airport, he was confused. Where do I start from? Says he was seated there thinking and praying. At a point, he looked a bit depressed. Because from America to Indonesia and into Muslim community, he didn't know how to find his way about the land. Then he says a certain foreigner walked straight to him. I know you are coming to start a church. I'll give you a contact. That guy will help you. The pastor was shaking. He gave me the contact. And then the pastor took the contact. About 3 weeks ago, I was in Indonesia to visit our church. The church is established. And it is this same person that...
Sometimes you see BBC ya a shame crying. A shame crying. Now so. Yemprim hwehwe Yesu. We ye member hwehwe Yesu ma ho. Me so me hwehwe Yesu ma me ho. Yemma ye ne kra nkwaje hu hia yen. Enchen entade a ebehye. Ene no me bia ye hu hia. Se kamenko a hwehwe Yesu ma ho. Yero ho ne som hwehwe Yesu. Don't just call yourself Church of Pentecost member for just a calling sake. But hwehwe no ne hu no na som no. Na wo som na wo bre erenya kwa. No nyame a oye ketuafo no. Sa wo som na wo de osum adwuma ba wie ya. Ore nhwe wo sa. No behye wani onyam. Nyame agidifo asore ben na wokọ hwehwe Yesu na som no. Don't just be in the church for just being sick, but being in a church where you know say mehuni Christo. Yamin shao onum ka makra. Bye bye. If Ghana TV, simply